Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam. My name is Kalsum binti Muhammad NASIR, and today our group will share about young marriage. First of all, young marriage is a condition or a situation involving someone who is under the age of 18 years old, who is influenced by the causes towards the young marriage and has effects towards the young girls, specifically in Malaysia. So, one of the causes of early marriage in Malaysia is because of misuse of alcohol and drugs. Some of the women during their adolescence, they are involving in risky activities with their peers such as drinking and using drugs. The girls admitted that they had sexual encounters with delinquent partners under the influence of those substances before marriage. Basically, they were tired of being involved with delinquent actions on a regular basis, and they want to find a way out. And they think that a marriage was one of the most viable possibilities for them in such circumstances. This is because of the immaturity of the girls who get married and get pregnant while they are still a teenager, and they are in the situation where they are not physiologically, psychologically, and physically ready to take on the responsibility of a childbearing. However, some researchers say that a marriage can be a turning point formed through a social link such as a persistent attachment relationship, which is marriage, that provide the girls to leave their habits of juvenile delinquency, and that supports their desistance from the criminal activities. Nevertheless, it is a long process, a long journey that requires further studies on its effectiveness. Next, the causes are disharmonious relationship with the family, and they believe that early marriage is a fate. The main underlying issue is a complicated relationship with one's parent, commonly which might be driven on by divorce or a broken family. This is an indirect influence on women's decision to marry at a young age. Second, the findings show that a concept of fate affected the emotions, the minds of the women, and influenced their actions to marry early. This is because a belief in fate was described as for the married girls to quickly secure their statuses, their identities, and to gain respect with a new environment after marriage. Besides, the acceptance of early marriage as a fate demonstrated the girls' submissiveness.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is ADIBAH NURDIYANA binti MOHAMAD. Next, I would like to explain about the causes of the young marriage based on the article Child Marriage in Malaysia, a child right issue, and why child marriage can happen. The causes is because of the family poverty itself, and also the unvetted yearly pregnancy that can contribute to the incidence of the young marriage in Malaysia. The family poverty can influence women's decisions to get married at a very young age, because for the pupil and a certain community that have a low income, many younger girls have to sacrifice themselves to get married at a very young age to ensure that the economic survival of their family. This is because the girls think that with their marriage with the other family can help their family to get a better economy. And also, most of the parents are worried that their children are involved in a social free That's why a large number of Muslim teenagers that gets married before they enter the legal age to get married, because they think gets married at the early age can give their more creativities to get the educations, and also can help their families. So the next causes is based on the religious belief, traditions, and the taboo of sex outside their marriage is also play an important role to make the young people get married early. The close tie with the Islam make the child marriage a taboo issue that should be raised, but for the non-Muslim are considered ignorant to raise this issue. This is because the non-Muslim think the press to discuss this issue is a very limited, because some of the young people gets married because their own decisions to get married because of love and anything else. This also gains insight into religious and cultural norms in society with the respect to the child marriage. The religions itself are the foundations underlying people perceptions in accepting this child marriage, because like I say, the non-Muslim think that this is because of their own decisions. Will the young people think that if they get married, they can help the family, and also can get a more productive idea because of the young marriage. And also the persistent belief that woman's role primarily as a mother and the wife mean a largely persistent power imbalance, because the traditional role of women usually involves a household chores and caring for their children. This is because they think with the traditions, they only think that women are supposedly to be a wife and the mother of their children. And the lastly is because of the parent often explain that their daughter are too wild and out of control. Then because of that, the best solutions to them is to agree for their marriage of their daughter to protect them from themselves, which is they think give their children's marriage early can help their children to be happy and have their own family and be productive. So that's all for me.
Okay, my name is ASNIZA binti ASKOR. So I would like to present the impact of young marriage in Malaysia. Okay, firstly, the impact of young marriage is the girls mentally and physically tortured while forced to accept the sexual activities even before they are acknowledged. In order to give pleasure to the older spouse, the girl mostly being forced to do sex immediately, even they are still not knowing their spouse. Okay, one of the example from a real story happened in African country, where the girl who wanted to enter a mathematics competition but being forced to marry an older guy just to pay her uncle's debts without her consent. According to HIN-OK 2017, said that the children bodies are not eligible to bear children before they are mature. Moreover, the girl can mentally abuse from a spouse family due to the least strength that they have from whatever that the spouse family torture them. Due to the least strength that the girls, the young girls have, they can also get the domestic and sexual abuse, and it is couldn't be denied. Moreover, when the girl being in a sex exploitation by the older spouse that married the child, it can actually put them under depression. Secondly, the impact of young marriage in Malaysia is that the girl can easily quitting school. Then from this chances of getting a proper and well-paid job is affected by the impact, according to Hin OK 2007. Hin in the same article also said that they will lose the opportunities of getting a prestigious living chances because of this early marriage. Girls who marry considerably older males are likewise more likely to experience marital abuse than those who marry someone their own age later in life. Okay, another factors that lead to this impact is because the girl with no education and up to 6 times more tend to stuck with the young marriage in the over 20 nations with a greatest frequency of child marriage. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is NURUL SHUHANIS binti SABARUDDIN. Okay, so the next impacts of child marriage. For your information, the economy also affected by the child marriage. The first impact on economy is poverty. Early childbirth has a potential to boost fertility and population growth, and risk to face poverty if they are not managed their financial. The impact of child marriage might be harmful for the children brides, since the lack of schooling leads to less literacy and poorer income. In addition, the major downturn in child marriage is that women's projected labor market wages will decrease. In a research from Fly Malaysia, increasing child marriage will result in the income of women who marry early less than 9% than those who marry later in the future. The other impact is well-being of the mothers and her children. Child brides do not physically or emotionally mature into women or mothers, and their mental health is lower than that of their later married counterparts. It is because they are still child and not in adult phase yet. Then the missing of mother will impact the bonds between mother and the kid and the parenting quality, which in turn adversely affect of the development of the children. In comparison with those who born in to married adults, children who were born to moms under 18s of age are more likely to be infants and child malnutrition. Also, child marriage will further increase the number of early birth and adversely affect of child development. For a conclusion, I think children need to explore their life in such vulnerable age without being married. Thank you.